Hey, sorry, recognizing that I need to look at my things starting. Someday I'm going to actually be prepared when I come online. Welcome. It is Thursday morning, December 17th here in Seattle. I am currently staring at overcast skies, which is, I guess, normal for December. Anyway, how are things going for you guys this morning? It has been another morning where things have not gone according to the schedule in my head. And so often it seems like the expectations that we set don't really get met. And what happens when you don't do it? How do you roll with it? I think the pandemic has probably been the biggest test of all of us being able to roll with things not going anywhere how we've expected. And that stability is something humans, vacillate between. We want stability, but then we also want variety and novelty and something new. And trying to balance any of that with us having so many unknowns is really, really a hard place to be. And it seems like so much of the strength of being human is in, how do we support each other as a community and together, so often you do achieve more. I was just on a brainstorming call, which is part of where my distraction came from this morning, and, collaborating how we might work together and what that might look like. And, there is strength in working together. As much as I want to be independent and focus so much on doing my own bit, a lot of it really is easier with other people. And I'm curious where others have gone ahead and, found strength in working with somebody beyond yourself, or how you fight that urge to be independent. But something to contemplate again as we head into the holidays, where most of us are feeling somewhat isolated and it's hard to be alone. Good morning, Jean. Thank you, as always, for being here. It's fun to see comments. I was watching somebody else's stream and trying to figure out how in the world they got so much interaction. But, it is, just kind of where it is. And that being said, I will go ahead and get my timers put together here. This is supposed to be, there we go. Hey, things even work sometimes. But yeah, as usual, we'll go ahead and do two 25-minute sprints with a 5-minute break in between. And I'll do a 5-minute call out in between, or before the end of the sprint. And I am curious what everyone is looking to be focused on for the next 25 minutes. My plan is to answer a bunch of email that's come in while I was putting out other fires. And that should be totally doable. Some days it really is about, I don't want to say lowering the bar, but what is a realistic bar? And this morning, that's realistic in my world. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and mute this, and I will talk to you guys in 25 minutes. Okay, I just took myself off mute. Sarah, did the sounds change? Because I've had my keyboard muted, or not my keyboard, but my entire computer muted. So I'm very confused how their sound going. So I took myself off mute again. Did it stop again? It's 10:10 here. And we just hit 5 minutes. All right, and that is time. I'm curious if anyone else besides Sarah is hearing random tapping or noise in the background, because I don't think it's coming from my immediate vicinity, but I'm trying to figure out if it's a problem everyone's having or if it's, who knows what's going on. Anyway, what did you guys get done in the last 25 minutes? Hopefully me continuing to poke around at my desk actually was not super disruptive. I did leave my mic open, so there may have been different sounds than normal if we're usually having sound in the background. Needless to say, I did not get my emails answered, and oh well, that's okay. As usual, probably a good time to, take a stretch and stand up for a couple minutes, evaluate how things went, what was good, what you want to change for the next round. Jean, thanks for the information about the banging, but I'm really confused. It only seems to happen when I mute myself, which makes no sense. So I'm not really sure. And then I thought maybe I had some other windows open that were, competing for sound, but I closed all of them and they didn't, and the sound still continued. So I'm utterly baffled as to why there is sound in the background. And we didn't start the 5-minute timer for the break, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and start it at 4 minutes and just assume that we are still progressing through, because I roll with stuff. That's the way it is. And if I didn't, my life would be a lot less pleasant. Try not to let the small things get in the way. And, some days that's easier said than done, but trying to keep on it and, keep moving forward. And, sometimes you just have to stop and go, well, that didn't go according to plan at all in any sense. And so now what? And yeah. How are things going for you guys today? What is on your agenda for the upcoming weekend? I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on Saturday and trying to get some projects wrapped up for both myself and my family for Christmas. I keep thinking I'm going to be able to say something a little bit more definitive about what I'm doing and some stuff I've got coming in the new year, but again, things being out of my control and or taking longer than I hoped to have them put together. But hopefully by Tuesday, I'll actually have a link to a planner I've been working on, but Amazon doesn't seem to want to tell me that they've approved it. It's been in review for like a week now, and I just have to assume that they're backlogged or people are on break. I'm also looking at putting together a couple more writers sort of productivity groups, which I had fun doing over the summer and is kind of the start of where I got going on all of this. But again, the back end legwork is taking a bit more work than I envisioned to get it all put together. And when I'm ready, I'll certainly share stuff. But that's kind of what's going on in my world. Get up, get a glass of water, do whatever you need, and start thinking about what you might want to get done in the next round. And yeah, Jean, there's a lot to be said for quiet weekends. For those joining on Facebook, if you happen to be dual streaming, we had somebody say that, their plans are pretty quiet for the weekend, and, that's a good plan too. I may be dropping this dual streaming thing. I'm not sure it's effective or worth the confusion it seems to be creating on my end. So anyway, that's okay. We've got about a minute left, and we'll go ahead and try and start another round. And for that one, again, I am going to attempt to redo my to-do list for today and answer the emails that I didn't get done in that first sprint, because I was trying to find out why things are making clicking and banging noises, and I've got no insight. So the consensus seems to be that it's a little less obnoxious when I have my mic open, so I will leave my mic open. And if things get, super loud here, I'll try closing it again, and sometime we'll get this figured out. But until then, I guess we've got ghosts, ambiance on the line, and we'll just leave it at that. And hey, Sarah, thanks for letting me know it's fine when the mic is open. Seems really counterintuitive, but I don't know if that's fighting for, hey, it could be new novel computers on the internet. No, ghosts on the internet, not computers on the internet. We already know there are computers on the internet. Okay, yep, brain is here. So I will go ahead and restart the timer for 25 minutes, do a 5-minute call out before the end again, and then let you guys work on what is going on. Yes, our cozy mystery for sure. New age, cyber, something or other going on. And we'll talk to you guys in the other side. All right, we're at 5 minutes. I'm going to try meeting through the app for the next 5 minutes and let me know if the sounds come back. All right, that was the second sprint. Thank you guys for helping me troubleshoot whatever weird feedback I'm getting. And apparently, if it's been going on for 6 weeks, I had no clue because it's been quite on my end the whole time. So yeah, it's important sometimes to voice stuff when it's going on because somebody may not even be aware it's an issue. Sometimes it is, but it's interesting how things we assume somebody else knows, they aren't always aware of. So yeah, obviously I wasn't aware you guys were having issues with sound because from my end, everything looked like it was going good. And it's really that two-way communication that seems so important in everywhere and everything we do. What did you guys get done in this go-round? I know that I was mostly brainstorming ways to try and make the sound stop. If the muting through StreamYard hadn't worked, my next plan was to try and hardwire the computer to the router, which is doable, but kind of a pain in the butt. The whole point of the new computer, when I bought it, was to make sure it had wireless so I didn't have to run cords everywhere. But I know it can be a real issue when doing streaming and other odds and ends. And so eventually I may have to deal with more cords than my original vision had entailed. But again, thank you for being here. Hope you all have a lovely weekend. Nothing too crazy. And, we're coming into Christmas week, which if that's your thing, great. If not, we're coming into almost the end of the year. And you know what? We made it through 2020, almost. We almost made it to the solstice, shortest day of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere. I suppose if you're in the Southern, you're right at the height of, daylight, and it's only downhill from there. And I'm sorry on your behalf. But we are getting more light, and I am really, really, really ready for that. I realized I left my light box on this morning, which is why I'm like super washed out and lit from below, but this is how I cope with the lack of daylight. So thank you guys for being here. If there's any success you want to share, I will leave this open for another minute or two as I kind of wrap up my own odds and ends, and then I will go ahead and end the stream. But at least I got one problem solved with the feedback. So hopefully this is a permanent solution and not something that just decides to work today. I guess we'll find out next week. Anyway, thanks again for being here. And whether you're watching live or on a replay, hope you have a lovely day, and we'll catch you next time.